when she
Well,
asked
I
me
object to the form of the question.
Okay,
It's too, explaining something is in fact has nothing to do with an order.
paperwork.
Here's
so
what I don't understand why everybody's
told you.
acting like they didn't know we had a trial scheduled today.
I don't know. This is my first time at this. I don't really know.
I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to everybody. I don't have video, I don't have audio, I don't have paperwork,
So that right there was dishonesty right there, because you pulled me over because I was sitting there for too long. You didn't pull me over because my plate was expired.
Your Honor, I would object to all this dialogue. I really would.
I mean, it's not prejudice.
Nobody's asking her any questions.
So
I can still talk and say
I think
you can be in the dark about the law. You cannot know. This could be your first time, but ignorance of the law is not a defense.
In Detroit, Michigan, Shelley Pierce appeared before the court for a bench trial on 3 charges: driving an unregistered vehicle, no insurance, and disobeying a lawful order of a police officer. The stop happened on April 1st, 2026, outside the Second Precinct on Grand River Avenue. When the officer moved to tow the vehicle, she gave Pierce a direct order to hand over the keys. Pierce refused. In Michigan, disobeying a lawful order of a police officer is a criminal charge. But what makes a police order lawful is not simply the fact that it came from an officer. The order itself has to have a legal basis. That distinction was about to be tested in open court, and the paperwork sitting behind all 3 charges made this case more complicated than anyone expected walking in.
All right, so then we are going to trial on Corporal Vajon's tickets for unregistered vehicle, no insurance, and disobeying lawful order, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Gotcha. All right. Then I guess we are ready to begin. Appearances, please. Again, counsel, since we're going to start trial.
Okay. Tamika Horn on behalf of the City of Detroit, P70303. Corporal Vajon, would you please state your name and badge number for the record?
Corporal Jamie Vajon, badge 234.
Thank you.
Philip X. Walling representing Ms. Pierce. State your name again, Ms. Pierce.
Shelley Pierce.
Okay. Any preliminary matters before we begin?
No.
Not from the people.
All right. Thank you. All right. Is Corporal Vajon going to be your first witness?
Yes, Your Honor. And just as a brief opening statement, what we're here to prove today under Michigan compiled laws 257-602 is that Ms. Pierce did fail to comply with a lawful order issued by Corporal Vajon, and furthermore, in disobeying that lawful order, she was quite disrespectful towards law enforcement.
Okay, thank you. Attorney Walling, opening?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Horn? Corporal Vajon, please state your name and qualifications for the record.
Corporal Jamie Vajon, badge 234, Detroit Police Department Traffic Enforcement Officer.
Thank you. Please raise your right hand and swear affirm that everything you're going to tell the court today is the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Horn, your witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Corporal Vajon, where are you currently employed?
The City of Detroit, Detroit Police Department, Second Precinct.
And how long have you been a police officer?
15 years this September.
And please describe any training that you've received over the years as a corporal and police officer.
Traffic enforcement training, accident training, PBT training, radar, LiDAR training.
Thank you. On April 1st, 2026, at approximately 9:41 a.m., were you on duty?
Yes.
Okay. And were you in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Okay. And where were you?
I was in the area of Leisure and Grand River, right out front of the Second Precinct.
Okay. And what brought you to that area?
I was coming out of the precinct parking lot, going back out on the road.
Okay. And for this particular area, what drew your attention?
The plate on the vehicle. When I ran the plate, it came back that it was expired due to fraud insurance.
Okay. And what did you do after discovering that?
After I discovered it, I effected a traffic stop in the area of Grand Rivers and Jeffries.
Okay. And once you effected the traffic stop, what did you do?
I approached the driver of the vehicle.
Okay. And was that vehicle a 2015 gray Ford?
Yes.
And the driver of that vehicle, do you see that person in the virtual courtroom today?
Yes.
And can you describe something about that person?
She has earrings in and her hair is pulled back. with a pink shirt, I believe.
And Your Honor, please let the record reflect that Corporal Vajon has identified the defendant, Ms. Pierce.
Record will so reflect.
And after you saw Ms. Pierce, what did you do?
I identified myself, my name, my department, and then I gave her the reason for the stop, that the plate was canceled on January 15th, 2026 for the fraud insurance. And then I asked her for her license, registration, and insurance.
And were you provided that information?
After talking to the driver, she was very hostile and rude. She provided me with a Michigan driver's license. She was unable to provide insurance and registration at the initial contact, so I gave her time to find it when I went back to my car.
And what did you do when you returned to your car?
I went back to the car, and she handed me expired insurance, and I advised her that it was expired, and also Lean said she did not have insurance, and I advised her that her car was being towed for the expired plate and the no insurance.
And once you advised her that the vehicle was going to be towed, what happened?
I asked her more than 3 times and gave her a dreadful lawful order, hand me the key, and she refused to give me the key and asked for a sergeant, and she was still rude and hostile and cussing at me.
And can you describe some of the language she was using for the record?
I know she was calling me a racist. I don't know the exact words she was saying to me.
And what was her demeanor towards you?
It was bad. She was hostile, rude, disrespectful, very loud, aggressive. She said she did not care about a badge or a gun.
And did she eventually, after asking 3 times, did she eventually give you a key to the vehicle?
No, I had to request a supervisor out so he could have her order her to give the key.
And what did the supervisor arrive?
Yes, he responded. Sergeant Burton responded, explained to her everything that I explained to her. And then eventually she got out, gave him the key, but she was loud, cussing in the parking lot of the gas station, making a scene.
Okay. After this was happening, what did you do?
I let the sergeant handle it, and I went back and I waited for the tow to make the scene.
Okay. And what did you observe Miss Pierce doing while you were awaiting the tow?
She was just talking out loud, cussing, being angry, went inside the gas station, was loud, they heard everything, and then came out, and then a male driver came and picked her up.
I'd object, Your Honor, to the testimony of what other people heard.
All right, thank you. Sustained.
And once that other driver came and picked her up, did she leave the scene of the incident?
Yes, she gathered up her belongings and then they left.
And at one point, did you issue the tickets or the charges that we're at trial for today?
Yes.
Did you issue it on scene?
Yes.
To her?
Yes.
And would that be once she left the scene of the incident? Was the tow truck there by then?
Yes.
Okay. And was the vehicle towed?
Yes, it was towed to the DPD Grand River Oakman lot.
And upon your record search, if you recall, was that 2015 Ford her vehicle?
Yes, it was in her name.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions at this time.
Thank you.
Now, is it fair to say, officer, that my client, at the initial stop, handed you her license and other without all the drama, the cursing, or all the other things that you described? Is that true?
She handed me 1 out of 3 documents that were requested.
And she couldn't find it. You gave her time to search for it, but at that point, everyone was behaving typically in a traffic stop. Fair enough?
No.
Okay. So she handed you her license, and the license was good. Did she hand anything at that point, or she had told you she had to look for it?
She had to look for it, and I stood there and waited. She could not find anything, so I went back to my car and then had to come back and get it. I was unable to provide it upon initial request.
Okay. And at that point, did you tell her that the vehicle was going to be towed?
After she handed me her insurance that was expired, and I told her it was expired and told her that per lien she did not have insurance, then I advised her her vehicle was being towed.
Okay. So I'm trying to find out exactly at what point this broke down into unpleasant behavior. Was it after that you told her that the car was going to be towed?
No, sir. It started from the initial stop. When I first approached her and talked to her, it started off the beginning.
And at what point did she ask for your supervisor?
When I requested the key, when I informed her I was towing her car. I
Okay.
asked 3 times for the key, and then she requested a sergeant to make the scene.
Okay. And certainly that's her right to do so, is it not?
Yes.
And especially since from your testimony, you were right in front of the precinct, right?
We're in a gas station parking lot.
But you had just come out of the precinct. It was right there.
Correct.
Okay. I have nothing further of this witness. Thank you.
Thank you. Any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. As to the keys, was your request for, what made the request for your keys lawful?
When I was ordering a tow, I requested the key for the tow truck driver, and so the driver does not pull off from the traffic stop.
Okay. And is this in your normal course of business?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Thank you.
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, any further witnesses for the city?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you for the defense.
Yes, at this time, Your Honor, I would call Ms. Pierce.
Thank you. Ms. Pierce, good morning. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Pierce.
Thank you. Please raise your right hand, Ms. Pierce, and swear or affirm that everything you tell the court today will be the truth.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Attorney Walling, your witness.
So tell me, Ms. Pierce, are you currently employed?
Yes, I am.
And what do you do?
I work for Amazon Flex.
How long you done that?
I've been doing that since January.
Okay. And are you going to school right now?
Yes, I am.
For what?
I'm taking my Bachelor's of Science of Registered Nursing at Chamberlain University. I'm a full-time student.
Now, you've heard the officer's testimony, is that correct?
Yes.
And the officer said that you were certainly disrespectful at the initial stop. Was that true?
Not at the moment.
All right. So, when the officer asked you for license, registration, and insurance, what did you give to her?
I gave her my driver's license, and I gave her the insurance that I had at the time that I had transferred the title of the vehicle.
Okay. So, are you telling us that this you currently purchased this 2015 Ford?
Yes, I traded in my old vehicle for the 2015 Escape.
Okay. And the documents that you had came from the dealership?
The documents that I had was still the same vehicle. I mean, the paperwork from the previous vehicle that I had.
Did you explain that to the officer?
I tried to.
Okay. And at that time, was everything calm at that point?
Yes, everything was calm, but she kept over talking me, asking me for a driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance every time I was trying to explain to her about the documents like this, because she said it didn't match.
And you were trying to explain that, correct?
Correct.
So after you asked for the sergeant, is that when things started to deteriorate?
It deteriorated when she said that she was going to tow my vehicle, because I asked her, why would she do that?
Okay. Did she ask you to give up the keys?
Yes, she did.
And did you indicate that you would give the keys to her superior?
I asked her for a sergeant as soon as she asked me for the keys.
And when the sergeant came there, did you give up the keys to him?
Yes, I did.
I have nothing further. Now, the nice prosecutor may have some questions for you.
Thank you. Cross?
And isn't it true that you explaining something is not following an order?
When she
Well,
asked
I
me
object to the form of the question.
Okay.
Explaining something is in fact has nothing to do with an order.
You're explaining something, but did you comply with the order to give your keys?
We're talking about the paperwork situation. When I explained to her, yes, when she asked me for the key, I asked for a sergeant.
And isn't it true that that paperwork was not for that particular vehicle?
It was a transfer of title information I was trying to give to her. And I was trying to give her the dealership information at the same time to prove why.
Isn't it true in Michigan all vehicles must be insured?
My vehicle was insured.
It was?
Yes, I just told you that was previous. I had a transfer of title. She said my insurance was fraudulent, and I handed her over that paperwork that showed my insurance was not fraudulent.
Was that vehicle insured at the time?
Yes, it was.
But you said it came back for the other vehicle.
Because they were trying to run the insurance for the Ford Explorer.
And how many times Corporal Vajon requests that you return the key, turn over your keys?
She asked me twice, but the first time I asked for a sergeant, when she asked me for the key, I asked for a sergeant.
And why didn't you want to give her the key?
Because I wanted to see a sergeant first so I can explain the situation to them so she could not tow my vehicle.
And was your vehicle ultimately towed?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. The court has a couple of questions because I'm dealing with 3 different counts here: registration, insurance, and disobeying lawful order. My first question is as to the transfer of title, the title transfer documents, Ms. Pierce. Did you provide those to Attorney Walling? Has anyone reviewed those today?
No.
Okay. Do you still have those documents?
I have to retrieve them again. I had them, but my 2-year-old drew all over them, so I left them out. That was my responsibility to put them up, and I didn't. But I can retrieve those.
Okay. And so you had purchased how long had it been since you traded in the old vehicle before you were pulled over?
I bought the car back in August of 21.
Okay.
My plate was due to expire on August the 30th, which was my birthday. The dealership didn't transfer the title over until the 28th of August. So at the time, the Secretary of State was trying to verify the insurance on the Ford Explorer instead of the Ford Escape.
Okay. So you traded in your vehicle. The dealership was going to take care of transferring the title, send the order over. They had a delay in sending it over. That's your testimony.
Yes.
And so the vehicle was appearing as improperly registered or titled, although you left the dealership believing that they would properly do that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And I have a civil suit towards the dealership right now because of that.
Okay, thank you. And then let's talk about the insurance count. In terms of the insurance, it sounds like you're saying you attempted to get insurance, but because the dealership had not properly transferred the registration or title, the insurance company was having some confusion so that you did not have active insurance on the vehicle at that time?
No, the Secretary of the State of Michigan was trying to verify insurance on the Explorer. So when they ran the Escape, it showed that the insurance wasn't invalid on the Explorer. Gotcha. Because we were talking about the Escape, but because
you transferred the plate, so the plate was coming back as to the old vehicle, and that was causing them to run the insurance on the old vehicle. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Corporal Vajon, I see you, so if you've got something to add, I'll ask you in a minute, all right? So your testimony, though, is that you took the plate from your first car that you traded in, and they were supposed to be retitling that plate onto your new vehicle.
Correct. And this was my first time ever doing something like this. So, I was pretty much in the dark about how that process goes, but the dealership told me that I was fine.
So you no longer had insurance on the old Explorer, but had you gotten insurance on the new vehicle at the time?
Yes, that was the only way that I can transfer over my title. Transfer over the plate.
Okay. And who was that insurance with at the time?
LA.
Okay. And do you have anything by email or anything with that old with the LA policy showing that you had valid insurance on the vehicle at that time?
Yes.
Okay, I need to see that. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight you if you'll hold it up to the camera so that we can try to see your insurance documents.
This is the insurance for the Explorer. This one did expire in February.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'm trying to take a look. All right, you can go ahead and put that down. Just tell me what the expiration date says. I don't want to leave it up on screen too long.
And this expired the 25th of February.
That's on your old Explorer.
That's for that was from the transfer over. Yes.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the people would like that document to be sent to us.
Okay. If you want to put your email in a chat, looks like Ms. Pierce is pretty competent, unless Attorney Walling has any objection to that.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Are you done questioning my client, Your Honor? I do have a follow-up question.
Well, I'm still trying to get to the question of whether or not there was valid insurance on the new vehicle on the date.
Fair enough.
And if your questions will get me there, I'm happy to let you take over.
Well,
And then my final question is for Attorney Horn. Attorney Horn, do we have any video, body cam, car cam?
No, and I advised that to Mr. Walling that the people were willing to adjourn for her to get appointed counsel so we could get discovery and do that. But the request was made today. The people have 21 days to get that to defense.
Okay, thank you. All right.
can I ask the follow-up for the court's question?
At Attorney Walling.
All right. Now, Ms. Pierce, you still have that 2015 gray Ford Escape?
Yes.
And your current registration on that Escape expires what date, please?
August 30th of 2027.
And your insurance on that gray Escape expires on what date?
And Your Honor, the people would object to this line of questioning. We're looking at
October
this ticket.
the 31st.
Is this a relevance objection?
Yes, it is. This ticket was issued April 1st, 2026.
Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, if I may respond, why it's relevant.
Hold on, it's overruled because I think we're developing the record here. We're developing a question in the same way that I'm trying to. We're all trying to get our arms around what happened when with this paperwork. And so the court finds that relevant. I find that it would be helpful to know. All right, go ahead, Attorney Walling.
And the day that we were at the insurance, when does that insurance expire?
October 3rd, 2026.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing further of this witness.
All right, and that's the insurance on the old Ford or the one that was the new one?
The new one.
The
Your
2015 gray Ford, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that insurance you say began on August 30th? Did I write that down correctly?
No. I know this all seems it's a big mess. I get it because the Secretary of State said the same thing. The LA insurance was for the for me to have when I had transferred over the title from the the title plate from the Explorer. That's the insurance that I had at the time. And that I took that policy up until February.
And was the LA insurance policy just so you could drive the car off the lot? Is that why
I was added on to my fiance's insurance policy.
Okay.
This was his. That's why it states Aaron Evans and Shelley Pierce.
Okay.
So that policy was not accurately mine. I was just an add-on.
Okay. On which vehicle?
It was on the Explorer.
And the new, what is the new Ford? Because that's part of my confusion. So you got an old Explorer?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And
that's on the one I traded in.
And what did you trade it in for so that I can just get my brain straightened out here?
I know. A 2015 Ford Escape.
Escape. Okay, that helps me. Explorer versus Escape. Okay,
yes.
Thank you. And so when is the first time that you had insurance on the Escape?
The day I drove off the lot.
Okay. All right. And when was that date? One more time, please.
I purchased it August the 21st of 2025.
Okay. So August 21st, 2025, you purchase the vehicle and you drive it off the lot sometime thereafter, having been able to show them valid insurance. That's back in August of 2025. Then we get all the way up to April of 2026.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay. Now we're almost a year
no, not
later.
April, February.
Okay, what happened in February of 2026?
That's the LA insurance took over.
Okay, so February of 2026, you have an LA insurance policy, but it's still covering the old Explorer, not the Escape.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So August 21st of 2025, you get insurance on the Escape, or sometime around there, you get insurance on the Escape so you can drive it off the lot. And that policy was with who? LA?
That policy was with LA. That's my fiance's policy. Yes.
Okay. So that policy was with LA so that it could be taken from the lot.
Yes.
And then in February 2026, again, we have you still on the policy with your fiance. However, it's not on the Escape.
It's supposed to have been on the Escape because we had transferred it over. Even with LA, it's showing that I had the insurance on the Escape. But for some reason, the state of Michigan was trying to verify it's still on the Explorer with that same plate. That's why it's just a big mess.
When you say LA verified that you had insurance on the Escape, but it wasn't properly transmitting to the state of Michigan, did LA send you paperwork or anything saying that they had the insurance on the Escape?
They sent it to my fiance because I wasn't the policy holder. But the state of Michigan was trying, because I had previous insurance with Geico.
Right.
And that was way before I had got into on a policy with him. And they were trying to verify that information, which caused my plate to get canceled. So my plate wasn't expired, it was canceled.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and email the whatever the insurance document was to Ms. Horn, if you haven't done so yet, so that she can review it.
Do you want me to send both? Do you want me to send my current?
Yeah, so here's what we're really trying to get at, Ms. Pierce. Okay. Here's what we're really trying to get at. Was there insurance on your Escape on April 1st of 2026? That's what we need to know. And I feel like you're telling me that at one time, LA verified that you had insurance on the Escape to you at that time as of April 1st, 2026. We need to see that. So what
I don't have that document. I have to get that from him because I don't have no way of retrieving the LA policy. I can't get my hand on that one. Because it's not in my name. I was just an add-on. So if you can give me some time to get that from him, that policy, because I wound up leaving, going to my own insurance policy after that.
All right, thank you.
Which is the Allstate, and that shows insurance as of 4/3.
Okay, so as of 4/3, you got Allstate insurance, but as of April 1st, what you had was LA.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Today's the date and time set for trial, right? And
Correct.
There's things I need to see from everybody, and this is trial, so I'm not adjourning the trial. We've gotten almost to the conclusion. Okay, go ahead and get that email to Ms. Horn. We'll stand by.
Okay. It just got sent.
All right, Ms. Horn, let me know when you receive that.
Also, Your Honor, the count 1 is drive unregistered or untitled. I would like a copy of that too.
Okay. If you have a registration, the transfer of title paperwork, any of that you can email over, please do so.
That's the one that I told you my kid drew all over. So I would actually have to go back to the dealership and get that paperwork again to show you that it was a title transfer.
Do you have a copy of what you drew on?
No.
With her artwork?
And generally, that's the transfer title. What I'm looking for is the thing that all of us should have in our car if that vehicle is being operated on the road, which is just the registration.
In order for me to even get the insurance on the vehicle have to be registered.
Ma'am, do you have valid registration now to send to the prosecutor? Please send it. Whatever paperwork you got.
Old one, but my new one.
Send whatever registration documents you have for the Escape to Ms. Horn, please. And we understand what kids do, so we'll try to see through her artwork if that's what we need to do. All right.
That document I had threw that away because she drew over it. When I tell you she doodled it.
Please send what you got with regards to registration and insurance.
I'm sending it now.
And the people are questioning what Mr. Walling reviewed to state that she had compliance papers.
Fair enough.
Sounds like, did you review insurance and registration documents, Attorney Walling?
Judge, my process is this. I'm not going to ruin what's left of my eyes squinting at screens. I asked for the expiration date and the registration and the insurance. So if my clients want to commit perjury at that point, that's up to them. But that's the information I got from them.
This is the registration to the Explorer because it was a transfer. I did go and get it over again, but for some reason I don't have that actual registration paper. But you can look up my VIN number and see that it's registered underneath, and it expires in 2027 because that's when my license plate expires. I can show you the picture of the license plate and everything.
Okay, guys. All right. Unless there's anything further, we'll go to closing arguments. Attorney Horn.
Do you want the picture of the license plate, Your Honor? Because I can show you all of that all of my stuff expires in 27 of August next year.
So, Ms. Pierce, part of the issue is what we have to discover is whether or not not whether you have it today. Like, people think that that's what we're doing, but that's because when we're taking pleas, you get credit, right, for kind of getting your stuff together. They give you credit for that.
Yes.
You're not doing that. You're at trial. And so what we have to discover is whether or not you had valid registration for the escape on April 1st, whether you had valid insurance for the escape on April 1st, and whether or not you disobeyed the lawful order of a police officer on April 1st. So what we're asking you for is documentation that would help us understand what was valid as to the escape on the date of April 1st, not today. To the extent that we've asked you about what we have today, it's because we're trying to retrace the steps between LA insurance, the fiance's insurance, or boyfriend, I can't remember what you said, sorry.
Yes,
all of those things, right? We're trying to trace the timeline of what happened when.
And that's what I was trying to explain to you. And I know it doesn't sound, I'm sorry, Your Honor. It was a big mess. I'm telling you, at the Secretary of State, they were looking like you too before they had did everything over again. And I wound up having to purchase a whole nother plate.
Who was the insurance purchase through that you had on April 1st on the escape? Who was insuring the escape on April 1st?
On April 1st, it was supposed to have been LA. It was supposed to have been LA. But that policy don't belong to me. That belongs to Aaron, as you can see on the policy document. My
question to you is, was LA Insurance providing coverage on the escape? And you are sworn. Was LA Insurance providing coverage on the escape on April 1st of 2026?
That's the insurance coverage that I had, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. All right.
This is my first time at trial. This is my first time in a situation like this. So I don't really know what else I can do or say to tell you. I only can give you the information that I had got. I don't even know about a transfer of title or anything. I didn't learn about this until I found out after this officer told me that my plate was fraudulent. That's why I wouldn't like fraudulent. Like, I've never rode on a fraudulent plate. Never.
Okay, hold on.
My plate was never expired at the time when she put me over.
LA
Do you have the VIN number?
If you would like to speak to the corporate office during the business hours 9 to 6, please.
Because LA Insurance, I'm going to have to leave it to LA Insurance to call me.
Stay
Tell
on
me.
the line.
You want
At
the
this
VIN
point.
number to the escape?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Your
Yeah,
Honor,
I got
I'm
it.
actually contacting the insurance company right now. It's USA Insurance. LA Insurance is generally a broker or a agent. It's not LA Insurance. So I'm contacting the information that was sent over to verify times of insurance. Thank you,
Did
Your
you
Honor.
want the VIN number still, Your Honor?
I think we have it on the ticket. Give me just a minute to see if it's.
I don't see the VIN on the ticket, Judge.
It's not. So you'll have to, you may want to send Ms. Horn a chat with the VIN number so that she can check it with the insurance company.
The VIN is on the bottom of the at the very last line of the remarks section.
I got it. Yep. I
Oh,
can see
yep.
it.
I'm sorry. Yes, thank you.
And if you see the letter from the state of Michigan when they expired the plate, they was trying to verify that at that time, they were trying to verify that on the car that I didn't even own anymore. The dealership had took ownership of that. And at the time I had that paperwork and I was trying to give that to the officer.
Okay.
And she didn't want it. She wanted the regular stuff that I did not have to give her because it was a transfer over. I didn't know nothing about that.
Where is the letter from the Secretary of State?
The state of Michigan that they sent out.
You just said if you look at the letter from the Secretary of State, it'll say that they were trying to verify on the old car.
Today, I would have had all of this today. Like, Your Honor, if you can give me an adjournment and I can get all this paperwork.
Here's I don't understand why everybody's acting like they didn't know we had a trial scheduled today.
I don't know. This is my first time at this. I don't really know.
I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to everybody. I don't have video. I don't have audio. I don't have paperwork. I mean, that's what pretrials are for. We're supposed to be getting ready for trial, but I understand you probably needed an appointed attorney to work through all of this.
I don't know. I'm telling you, like, truthfully, like, I don't know. I'm not a criminal. I don't know. I don't think, Ms. Pierce, I don't think you're a criminal. So number one, I don't think really anybody that comes in is this traffic court. Okay. I'm not dealing with menaces to society for the most part. So no, I don't think of you as a criminal. I just have to get to the bottom of whether or not you had your paperwork. Okay. So just, give us a minute. I was trying to explain it to you because it was a big mess. Like I said, when I went to the Secretary of State, they were looking like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like, you need to go over this dealership because they the ones who put you in this big old mess. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even be in this situation. But at the day that she stopped me, I was sitting right in front of her. She said my plate was expired. My plate didn't expire into 2026 because of the transfer. So that right there was dishonesty right there because you pulled me over because I was sitting there for too long. You didn't pull me over because my plate was expired, and that's what she said.
Ms. Pierce, we're going to get out of. We're not testifying anymore.
I'm sorry. Okay?
I understand. And I understand the frustration. I just got to try to get to the bottom of it. So Ms. Horn looks like she's on the phone with the insurance company. Let's see if they have any kind of record of coverage or what was going on at the time.
I wish I had that document from the Secretary of State so you can see it, because I could have went and got that. And I tell you, I got into a full-blown argument with the dealership because of that.
Your Honor, I would object to all this dialogue. I really would.
I mean, it's not prejudice.
Nobody's asking her any questions.
So
I can still talk and say my piece.
Right, I know.
That's what trial is for.
Listen, it's Ms. Pierce's right to remain silent.
I'm sorry.
I wish you would do so.
She's not right. Attorney Walling is advising you to do so, and just wait for Ms. Horn. We're not taking testimony.
Frankly am ready to close.
Right, to keep the record clean, let's just be silent for a moment and let Ms. Horn see what she gets from the insurance company. Okay.
I can't seem to get a customer service question. It keeps going dead for the number that's on this document.
Okay. All right. Closings.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. On April 1st, 2026, Ms. Pierce's 2015 Escape was not insured. It was not registered properly, and she has not been able to show that today. The officer testified truthfully that she ran the law enforcement network information and the vehicle was not properly registered and the vehicle was not insured. As a matter of fact, on the ticket, it says confiscate. Officer Vajon confiscated the plate as fraudulent. Even here today, I just found it very interesting that she tries to explain over and over. I tried to explain. Well, there's no explanation if you drove off with insurance on August 21st, 2025, and you stated that it expired February of 2026. On this particular vehicle, that means that it still was not valid on the date of the issuance of this ticket. I think that everyone's confused here because there's a level of untruthfulness in testimony. She stated that she had insurance. She wasn't sure if she had insurance. And the documentation that the people have, effective date 8/25/2025, expires February 25, 2026. So that was before the issuance of this ticket for this particular vehicle if there was insurance in place. Also, she traded in an old vehicle. When you drive off the lot, the vehicle is supposed to be registered. Oftentimes, people don't have a proof of insurance card. Oftentimes, people may not carry their registration card around. But if a lien check is made by an officer, that does show more likely than not that the vehicle was not insured nor was it registered. Also, the crux of this matter, she refused to provide Corporal Vajon with the keys to her vehicle after the vehicle was deemed not in compliance and had to therefore be taken off the roads of Michigan. And because she couldn't drive it, that would be allowing her to legally drive away in an uninsured, unregistered vehicle. Corporal Vajon testified that she had requested those keys 3 times. She didn't want to give Corporal Vajon the keys, but she gave the sergeant, Burton, the keys. And the car was still towed. So I don't quite understand that. You can be in the dark about the law. You cannot know. This could be your first time, but ignorance of the law is not a defense. We've not been provided with anything. Time after time, nothing's coming through in compliance. She doesn't have the registration. She also did not comply with Corporal Vajon's lawful order to turn in the keys. Not only that, as Corporal Vajon testified, she called her racist, everything but a child of God, but still couldn't provide paperwork. So I'm finding Ms. Pierce's testimony not credible. I think the only reason we're all confused because there's something not right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Attorney Wally.
I think we can all agree that this is a mess. Whether the question really is of whether it's Ms. Pierce's fault or what is her level of knowledge of this. I believe the testimony from Ms. Pierce is rather clear. She took her old vehicle, traded it in on a new vehicle, was told, or the dealership indicated she was good to go. The plate was transferred from the old vehicle to the new one, and there we go. Same with the insurance. I still believe that she has expressed to me that her registration expires in 27 and her insurance expires in October of this year. That time sequence all made sense. With regards to and considering this court's, the whole buildings, and the court stated the court will give deference to someone who is in compliance at this time. I understand that it is not a perfect defense, but I believe we've established that she's in compliance at this time. With regards to the officer, I don't know what went on there. The issue to me is my client would not give up the key unless she talked to the supervisor who was there, literally in the neighborhood, almost from the officer's testimony across the street, because that's where the precinct is. And when that officer arrived, for whatever reason, that satisfied Ms. Pierce. She gave up the keys. That's her right to refuse. And as Ms. Horn pointed out, it didn't do much a hill of beans at that point. The car was still towed at her expense, and we're still here with this matter. At best, I see, from all the shout and grumbling and disrespect, that's not disregarding an officer's signal. She merely asked to have a supervisor come, and she complied with him. At best, I believe that's a disorderly conduct ticket. So what I'm asking the court to do is to dismiss the registration and insurance tickets, and since the proofs go down to disorderly conduct, I would ask the court to consider a finding of guilt to disorderly conduct.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, just a rebuttal. In finishing, which we have our right to do, our burden is not beyond any doubt. Our burden is beyond a reasonable doubt. So looking at the facts of the matter, even her testimony today, what she has failed to provide, and the stories she's explained to us show reasonably she didn't have insurance, she didn't have registration, and she also refused the lawful order of an officer. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Court is ready to rule. As to count one, the driving unregistered or untitled vehicle, I do find Ms. Pierce credible on that issue. I am finding her not guilty as to count one, the no registration or title. As to count two, the no insurance, that one is more troublesome for the court. And again, she drove the car off the lot, right? So something was in progress with the registration and the title. I find that credible. I find you not guilty on that count. The insurance count is a little bit trickier because now we're almost a year out from when you drove that car off the lot. And I do not have any proof that there was insurance coverage on that vehicle at that time. And again, we've got a lapse of time, right, in which all of this was going on. I don't know when you learned about it. But even if you were aware that there was difficulty in getting the insurance on that vehicle, it means that it couldn't be operating on a public roadway until that was worked out. So as to count two, I do find Ms. Pierce, I find you guilty as to count two. As to count three, the disobeying lawful order of a police officer. Here again, this is a very subjective offense, right? At what point does a person have to comply in order to avoid this charge or conviction? What are they allowed to do within the confines of questioning, explaining, etc.? Here it sounds like Ms. Pierce needed to speak with a sergeant and requested that sergeant because of all of the background going on in this case, which is her right to do. I would agree with Attorney Walling that if I had evidence to support the fact that there was cursing in a public way, in a public place where other people were hearing and disturbed by the behavior and the actions, that there would be something else there, but I don't have that in this ticket. And so I don't have sufficient evidence to support the disobeying lawful order because there was a request for a sergeant as far as I'm hearing, and then the keys were handed over. And I don't have enough evidence as to disorderly, which I don't even have a charge of anyway. So not guilty as to the registration, guilty as to the insurance, not guilty as to the disobeying lawful order. On the insurance ticket, Ms. Pierce, it's just a fine. It's $190. I hope that you've got everything in order now so that this doesn't continue to happen. And as I said, I really tried to get to the bottom of whether or not there was insurance and through whom on the car on April 1st, and I just didn't get there. So on the no insurance, it's $190. $190. I'm going to give you 90 days on the 190. If you wish to pay online, you can do that. Please don't try to do it before tomorrow, but you've got 90 days to pay it in full, or even if you need to get on a payment plan with the cashiers, you have 90 days to even get the down payment together. The cashiers on the first floor will let you know how much that is. All right. And and I can also convert this to community service if you need me to, if there's a request for that. But I hear you got a toddler in the house, so I'm assuming there's not a whole lot of time for community service, but I'll let you tell me what you'd like to do.
I guess I just gotta pay the fine because I can't really do the community service.
All right.
Because of my work, my school hours and my work hours.
Okay. Well, I've given you a long kind of time to get your down payment together. Even if you have to do a down payment and a long-term payment plan on this, they can stretch it out, I think, even to a year. They just want like 25% down, so you probably need to give them like $50 in the next 90 days.
I have it paid off. I'm gonna tell my fiance he'll pay it.
All right. I hope you guys get all this paperwork stuff worked out, and you can probably add this to the civil suit if you feel like you've got proofs there. All right. All right. Have a good day, Ms. Pierce. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Walling.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your appearances today.
In Michigan, a conviction for disobeying a lawful order of a police officer requires the prosecution to prove that the order itself was grounded in law, not simply that an officer gave it. A request without legal foundation is not a lawful order, no matter how many times it is repeated or who repeats it. That principle is what protects people from being criminalized for questioning authority, especially in a moment where their rights and their property are both on the line. The no insurance conviction carries real consequences: a fine, a mark on the driving record, and in Michigan, repeated offenses can affect registration eligibility and insurance rates going forward. The registration charge and the lawful order charge did not survive the trial. But the insurance count was a different question entirely. The judge made clear that ignorance of a coverage gap is not a defense when a vehicle is being operated on a public road. If you think the officer's order to hand over the keys was lawful, drop your verdict in the comments and subscribe for more cases like this one.